crocheters, I'm Cassina, and today you'll be learning how to crochet a heart. Now before we know how to crochet a flower, this video will give you an idea of what you need to know. So I'll be posting videos once a week now, so stay tuned. So let's crochet. So in order to crochet a flower, these are going to be the steps. And the materials you'll need is yarn, and I have a package. So on the yarn you'll buy, you'll have a package. This is just one of the yarns. And here it'll show the crocheting and knitting. So it says right here 4 millimeters for knitting, 4 millimeters for crocheting. So I'm using a 4 millimeter hook, but I would recommend a 5 millimeter yarn. But yeah, but it will be in different spots for different packaging. So keep a lookout for that. Okay, then you'll need a yarn needle and scissors. So let's get started. So the first thing we will need to do is do a magic ring. So a magic ring is a new term we have not used, so I'm going to be teaching you guys how to do it. This is what it is, magic ring. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to get your pointer finger, your left hand, you're going to get the small end closer to your body. You're going to create an X. So it's going to be closer to your body. You're going to hold it. With the yarn connecting to the ball, you're going to make an X. So like this. Then you're going to hold it, make it a little loose. So the front loop loose. You're going to get your hook. Put the hook in front of the first loop. And grab the second one all the way through and out. And before you pull, you grab it. You put your pointer finger there. And chain one. Replace. Bring it down. So that is how you do a magic ring. So I'm going to show you guys how to do it again. So what you're going to need to do is get the small end of the yarn. Hold it. Make an X. Make this a little looser. Get your hook. Put your hook under the first loop. You're going to grab the yarn connecting to the ball of yarn. Under. Then before letting go of the hole, you're going to put your thumb in the hole. And then you're going to chain one. There. So that is how you do a magic ring. And if you did not get it, feel free to replay the video and put it on slow-mo. Okay, so now what we're going to do is chain. We're going to chain 2 now. So if you don't know how to chain, watch my other video on how to do a slip knot and a chain, and I'll give you a brief explanation on how to chain. So you're just going to go like 1, 2. So it should look like that. Well, yeah. So you should have only 2 chains, and you can kind of count it. So 1, 2. So you should have 2. So now what we're going to do is 3 triple crochets. So in order to know how to do a flower, we will need to know how to do a triple crochet. So when we're doing a heart, a triple crochet would be like this. So it's important to remember these terminologies so that in the future when you do projects, it will be easy to remember. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to make sure our right hand, pointer finger, and thumb are holding on really tight. Because when we do wrap around, we don't want it to go loose. So you hold it on really tight. You get the yarn connected to the ball of yarn. You wrap it around twice. So 1, 2. So like this. So you hold it on really tight. 1, 2. You're going to replace it. And in that hole that you had, so this very big hole, you're going to want to put the hook in all the way inside. And it should look like this. You're going to grab it, make sure it goes under, pull it through the hole. So now you replace it. You should have 4 loops on your hook. So now what you're going to do is you're going to replace it, wrap the yarn around once, replace, make sure it's a little loose, so you pull it this way. You're going to pull through 2. So this is kind of like a chain. And what we're going to do, but instead you're going to pull through only 2. So you will be only pulling through these 2. I'm going to go like this. So that's 1. And you need to pull through 1 more. And 2. So sometimes some yarn gets split. For example, there. So make sure only 2 goes through. So it should look like this now. Now what you're going to do is wrap the hook around. So whenever you do, make sure you have a habit of always using your pointer finger and your thumb on your right hand to hold it still. You're going to wrap around, replace it, make it a little loose by pulling it towards this way and pulling it down. So how I said before, make sure you watch my video on how to half double crochet and how to single crochet. So what you're going to do is make sure it goes under the hook right there and you twist it. So with the hand rotation, twist it, pull it under. I have 1 loop. Now you do another one. So you always do 2. So now it should look like this. Now we're going to do 1 more time. You're going to wrap the hook around twice. Oh, wait, no, sorry. You're going to wrap the hook around once, replace it, and make it a little loose, and pull the loop through both. Okay, so this is your very first triple crochet. So you will need to do 2 more. So what you're going to do is make sure you hold it on tight with your right hand. 1, 2, going to replace, going to go in the hole, pull it. Now you should have 4 loops, replace, and you're going to bring this through 2 loops. So 1, 2, then you should have 3. Going to twist around. You're going to go pull through 2 loops. And after finally, you're going to wrap around, pull through 2 loops. And there is your second triple crochet. So now we're going to do 1 more time. So you're going to twist the hook around twice, go in the hole, grab it, replace, wrap around, pull through 2 loops, wrap around, pull through 2 loops, and wrap around, pull through 2 loops. So that was your very last triple crochet. So it should look like this so far. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we are going to do 3 double crochets. So I think we've learned this already, but double crochet is just wrapping around once, replacing. We would go in the loop again, grab the yarn connected to the ball, replace, and now what we're going to do is we're going to make sure the pointer finger and the thumb finger are holding it tight, wrap it around, replace, and pull through 2. So on the loop, on your hook, you just see 3. So you're going to pull through 2. And after, you're going to pull through another 2. So that's your very first double crochet. So you'll need to do 2 more of these. So you're going to hold it really tight, wrap it around once, go in the hole, pull through, replace, wrap it around, pull through 2 only, then pull through 2, like that. So now we're going to do one more, wrap around, go in the hole, pull through 2 only, pull through 2 only. So it should look like this, and it depends on what your size is for your yarn. It might look smaller or bigger. But the smaller yarn you have, the more smaller it look, and the more bigger yarn you have, the more bigger it will be. So now what we're going to do is we are going to chain 1. So a chain is, so you hold on tight with your pointer finger and thumb. You're going to wrap around the hook once, replace it. You're going to make sure it goes under the hook and pull it down. So with the rotation, I'm going to make sure the hook goes to the left side, pull it through, like that. So after you're done chaining 1, we are going to do 1 triple crochet. So a triple crochet, you're going to hold on tight with your right hand, wrap around twice. You're going to go in here in the hole, grab, you should have 4 loops, twist it around. You're going to make sure it goes under the hook. You do the rotation, pull through 2, you wrap it around, replace, you pull it through 2, and lastly, you rotate and you pull it through 2. There you go. Okay, so now you should have this. And now what we're going to do is chain again 1. So chain, make sure you hold on tight with your right hand. There, replace and pull through. Okay, so now what we're going to do is now we're going to do the opposite of what we did. We're going to repeat by doing 3 double crochets and then 3 triple crochets. So now we're going to do 3 double crochets. So we did it right here, this section. So we're going to do the same. You're going to hold the, use the right hand and hold it tight. You're going to wrap the hook around once. You're going to go in the circle, pull through 2, replace, pull through 2. So that's 1, wrap around, go in the hole, pull through 2, pull through 2, and now last one, wrap around the hook, go in the hole, pull it through, place, wrap, pull through 2, and wrap, pull through 2. So now it should look like this, and we did 3 double crochets. And last but not least, we're going to end off with 3 triple crochets, how we did in the start. So if you don't have any room, for example, if your creation's like this, make sure you get it and you pull it to the bottom, like that. So now what you're going to do for a triple crochet is you're going to hold on tight with your right hand, wrap around twice, so it should look like this. You're going to go in the hole, pull the yarn, replace, wrap around, and you should have 4, not including this. Now when you wrap around, you should have 5. And you pull through 2, replace, pull through 2, place, and pull through 2. Now we need to do it 2 more times. So wrap the yarn around twice, go in the hole, pull it, wrap, pull through 2, pull through 2, and pull through 2. So last time, so wrap the hook around twice. You're going to go in the hole, pull the yarn, place, wrap the hook around. Make sure when you do this part, the yarn goes under the hook so you don't lose it, and you do that rotation inwards. So 1, pull through 2, and pull through 2. So there. So it should look like this now. So now what we're going to do is we are going to chain 2. Oops. So we're going to chain 2. So make sure you hold on your creation with your right hand, your pointer finger, and your thumb. Wrap around, replace, pull through, and pull through. So twice. And it should look like this. And now what we're going to do is a slip stitch. So a slip stitch is a way to end off your creations, and that is what we're going to be doing. So you're going to be going in that same hole, pulling the yarn through, so the yarn that's connected to the ball of yarn. So it should look like this. And now you're just going to pull it through. So it should look like this. So I'm just going to do it again. So what you're going to do is you're going to put your hook inside the hole, pull the yarn connected to the ball of yarn, and right away you're just going to pull it through the loop. And that's what you should have right now. And now you are going to chain 1. That's it. So you are going to chain 1, as I did. Now you're going to pull the yarn like that. You're going to get your scissors and cut off quite, like, not too long, but cut quite a few centimeters. So you should have at least this length. It should look like this. So now what we're going to do is we're not done. So what we're going to do is we are going to get this, so the small end. We've had it this whole time. You're going to pull it as tight as you can. There. You're going to pull it as tight as you can, and it should close up. So give it a little nudge and make sure you pull it as tight as you can, because then it'll close it really tightly and it'll make the heart effect look. It's like that. So don't worry if your creation's small. As you see, mine is a little bit smaller. It depends on what size you use. So for example, mine is 4 millimeters. So my heart will be smaller. So before we end off, we are going to deal with this piece of yarn. Okay, so now what you'll need is your sewing needle. So before you do that, you're just going to make your creation a little loose, not pull it, but just make it a little more freely. There. Okay, so now you're going to get probably the smallest end here. And what I like to do is I like to get both of the ends like this. I like to do a knot, so I just like this and pull it. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to sew. So you get the smallest one first, put the yarn in. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start sewing. So it's okay wherever you sew, because it won't particularly matter as long as you do sew and you don't leave it out. But if you do want a hook, for example, like something, so like where you can hook up your creation to make it kind of like this, I'll be teaching you how to do that right now. But first, you will always need to sew the small end. So one good way to sew is by using the needle and doing this circle. So you're just going to look for this circle and just get so you get the yarn needle and you just put it in any chain or any part of the creation and just put it in. Okay, and you're gonna want to do quite a bit. Like that. Something like that. And if you have troubles pulling it through, what I like to do is I like to just pull it and it'll just automatically pull it through. And that should be good. So before we cut it, what I normally do is I just make sure I make it as loose as possible. So I just pull where I sewed. I just pull it to let it be more free. Should be like that. So don't cut the wrong part. Make sure you cut the one that you sewed. Make sure you sew quite a bit or else it might undo your whole creation. And there. And you can just make it a little more looser and yeah. So this is what you should have right now. So now we have to sew this one. But if you do want to make the heart by itself, for example by making it like this, then you would do the same thing you did with the other part of yarn. But if you do want to make a hook or a way to hang it up like this, here is how to do it. So what you're going to do is you're going to pick your size. So I'm going to do it like this. Like that. There you go. And now you're just going to make a little knot. You're going to hold the two sides of yarn together. So it'll look like this. You're going to put both of the yarns on your hand. Wrap it around. Make it looser. And you're going to fit that little hoop there. And you're going to pull it down. And there you go. So that is what it should look like. But we still have this part. So we don't need this part anymore unless you want to make it extra secure. And this, go like this. Just to make it extra secure. There you go. So it will look like this. So now we just have to sew this part in and then we're done. So we're going to want to get this. Put the hook in. Okay. So you always want to sew on the back of the piece, and how you know is the front will look more neater than the back. I'll have less stitches. So you're going to always want to go to the back. And how you did it before, you're going to sew on the circle. You can always sew wherever you want, but my personal favorite spot to sew whenever I'm done a piece is in the magic ring area. So there. And if you do want to make it even more secure, you're going to want to get at least one piece of yarn like this. You're going to want to insert the needle almost like barely. You're going to want to keep some part So it'll look like this. You're going to get the needle and pull it, put your needle in that spot. Pull it. Gonna want to pull it and make it a little loose after. There you go. So now you're just gonna finish up by sewing the rest in. Make sure you sew this one a lot, because this is the main one that is, yeah. So there you go. And you're just going to make it a little loose by pulling your creation. Going to get this part. Going to get your scissors. And how you cut, make sure you don't cut the creation, but you put the scissors down and you cut like that. And you're going to make it a little loose. And there you have it. So it will look like this at the end. But if you choose not to do the hook, which will look kind of like this, you won't have the hook and you would just need to sew the end. So yeah. And as I said before, if your heart is small, it's probably because of the size of your yarn. So if you do want a bigger heart, maybe try a bigger size and it'll be bigger. So today we used lots of terms such as magic ring, slip stitch, chain, triple crochet, and double crochet. So you'll need to remember all of these terms in the upcoming videos. For example, the flower video includes triple crochet. So make sure you know how to do a triple crochet in order to do a flower. So as I said before, I'll be posting videos once a week. So that's all for today. Thanks for watching, and I hope you learned how to crochet a heart. And I have an Instagram account, so make sure to follow it. And I'll show it on the screen right now. So make sure to subscribe to join the journey and hit that like button. Okay, bye. See you next time.